In just 5 months' time, Pokémon Bank is officially closing its doors, meaning we will no longer have access to Pokémon from their original cartridges from Generation 3 all the way through to Generation 7. And for savvy people like myself, that also includes Generations 1 and 2, because there are ways to get Pokémon from your original Generation 1 and 2 cartridges and move them all the way to Pokémon Home. So in this video, I'm going to tell you guys exactly what I'm going to be focusing on and what maybe you guys haven't even thought about focusing on. Maybe I'll give you a few ideas of things that you might have not thought of that you could possibly catch before Pokémon Bank shuts down. And I will be sharing some of these in video form on this channel right here on Nintendo. So if you haven't done so already, get yourself subscribed. We are rapidly approaching that 1,000 subscriber count, which means you get to be one of the OGs if you subscribe today. I'm going to be starting this list off with Generation 4 because, as I explained in the previous video, which you should definitely go and watch if you haven't done so already, I have already completed my living decks for Generation 1, 2 and 3. Generation 4, I am extremely close. I just need a Stunky and a Skuntank, and then we are there, baby. Right, so we've got a list here on the old Toto Dial mobile. So for Generation 5, I'm literally needing, so this means I need to catch one black, white, black 2 or white 2. I just need Snivy, Servine, Tepig, Pignite, Oshawott and Duot, so that's like the starters and their evolutions, or the first evolutions anyway. Archen, Solosis and Duosion, so not a heap, not a load, but still kind of a pain, which is why I guess I've been putting them off till now, but we're in full panic mode, so I'm definitely adding these to my Pokemon Home account in the next few weeks. Now from the Kalos region, I need to catch myself a Frogadier, a Spritzee, which I need to evolve, a Swirlix, which also I need to evolve, Tyrantrum, Amora and Noivern. So again, not a great deal in regards to the quantity of Pokemon, but definitely some of these are going to be a bit of a pain and unfortunately might need a couple of playthroughs. So if anyone wants to hook me up and trade me some of these, dude, I'm here, I'm listening. Hit me up on Instagram if you want to trade, I'm down for it. Getting onto the Alola region. Okay, so Sun, Moon, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. I've been putting off playing these again for about 6 years because dude, there's so many. I explained in the last video, there's so many cutscenes. It's just, I just want to catch some Pokemon, and then I've got to talk to Lily, and I've got to talk to Hal, or whatever his name is, and my God, it's just constant, and I would like to just get on with the game, but people told me, oh yeah, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, there's not as many cutscenes. Dude, I'm on the second island. I've had non-stop cutscenes. Alright, maybe they're a bit quicker than Sun and Moon, I don't know, but it feels to me like it's non-stop cutscenes. It's a real chore to play through, and there is a ton of Pokemon I still have not caught from the Alola region as a result. Another thing that I will be checking, although I think I already have them anyway, is events for Magearna and the Hat Pikachu, right? I also need to try and find an event Zeraora and an event Marshadow. So they're Pokemon I'm going to be needing to faff around with the DNS settings, whatever it is on the 3DS. But I will be finding them and I will be adding them to my Pokemon Home complete original Living Dex challenge. Now here is where I think my path might differ from a lot of other people's, because if you have one of these bad boys and you're happy to do a little bit of modding to it, and I'm just talking very easy software modding, and you've got the correct hardware as well, you can actually take save files from Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow, Green, Gold, Silver and Crystal. You can take those save files and you can move them onto your Nintendo 3DS. Meaning you could, in theory, well not in theory, this is a thing because I've done it. I have Pokemon on my Pokemon Home account with tags saying Stadium 2000 because I won them on Pokemon Stadium and then transferred them all the way to Pokemon Home using a Nintendo 64. Which brings me to the next part of my personal journey over the next 5 months. Now, I've already completed the Pokemon Stadium 1 and Pokemon Stadium 2 collection. I have the Amnesia Psyduck for getting all 151 Pokemon into the Hall of Fame on Pokemon Stadium, alongside the Gligar and Farfetch that you can get from Pokemon Stadium 2. However, I'm a little bit OCD and I want to completely complete this collection by doing the exact same thing once again, but this time I'm going to do it on Pokemon Stadium 2 and Pokemon Stadium Gold and Silver in Japanese. Because the games came out a year prior to their English or Western, I guess, counterparts, the names, of course, are in Japanese instead of English, but the trainer ID for Pokémon Stadium 1 Pokémon, at least, actually reads 1999 instead of 2000, which in my head, that's like a completely unique and different Pokemon, right? So one of my personal tasks over the next few weeks, and I will be documenting it on this channel, so if you haven't done so already, get yourself subscribed. We are getting so close to 1,000 subscribers now, and if you subscribe to Nintendo right now, you could be one of the original 1,000, one of the OGs. So yes, I have a very long journey, an arduous trek ahead of me, using my, I guess, Pokemon Yellow Pokemon that where I done the stream on the channel, caught the Mewtwo. So that Mewtwo's really going to come in handy when it comes to taking on the Elite Four and Blue over and over and over and over and over again on Pokemon Stadium in Japanese. Speaking of Japanese Pokemon games, there are some exclusive Pokemon that you can only get in the Pokemon Blue Japanese version. One of which is a caught in the wild Jinx. Now, originally in Pokemon Generation 1, the only way to obtain Jinx was via a trade with a non-playable character. However, in the Pokemon Blue version, which was actually the third version of Pokemon that was released in Japan, they changed the wild encounters a little bit, and you can catch a Jinx in the wild. So that's on my to-do list. And there are also several in-game trades that you can only get on that version of Pokemon Blue, one of which is a Haunter, which gets traded to you and then evolves straight into a Gengar. So to me, personally, Pokemon like that are just a little bit more unique and a little bit more special. And I already personally have one of these, but if you by any chance have a Japanese copy of Pokemon Emerald and you can get the ticket to the faraway island where you can encounter Mew, you can in fact shiny hunt this Mew and get that all the way to Pokemon Home. Other things that I will likely try and shiny hunt just because I can, and I do think, although a lot of these things feel like they're going to take a while, I feel like I'm going to smash through these quite quickly, because but when I say I'm panic playing Ultra Moon right now, I am panic playing Ultra Moon right now, and I'm far more excited for the Pokemon Stadium stuff, etc, etc, so I'm really keen to get on with those, but I'm not doing any of that till I've finished Pokemon Ultra Moon. But I really would love to shiny hunt Rayquaza, Kyogre, Groudon in Pokemon Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald in the original cartridge and transfer those all the way up to Pokemon Home. Lugia and Ho-Oh on Pokemon Gold and Silver. I took the time a few years ago to shiny hunt the Celebi on Pokemon Crystal, so I have that currently. So fleshing out my little shiny legendary mythical decks using those methods would be really cool. And last but not least, if there's one shiny hunt that would be insane to do and absolutely and utterly ridiculous and possibly a complete waste of time, it would be shiny hunting Mewtwo in Generation 1 cartridge. Also obscenely difficult, will take a hell of a long time, but I'm keen to do it. And like I said before, if you want to follow on this journey, then maybe subscribe to the channel, because any of these big flex Pokemon, I want to be able to share that with you guys when it happens. Let me know in the comments below if there's anything that I have missed off my list, and let me know, is there anything that you are personally hunting because it's just personal to you?